switch gears, and I do want to talk a little bit about the topic that we just can't get enough of here on the Aaron Torres Pod YouTube channel. That is Coach Prime, Colorado football, the whole ecosystem around Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, okay? And what's been interesting is last couple of days have actually been pretty quiet, as they probably should be. The first 5 weeks of this season were just insane in the coverage, right? And it was for good reason. Former superstar athlete taking over the worst team in Power 5 football, play a ranked opponent, national runner-up in week 1, you win. Beat a historic rival in week 2, beat an in-state rival in week 3. Then you play back-to-back opponents. And so it just feels like every week there's something going on, a big game. Jay Norvell says this, Dan Lanning says that, Caleb Williams versus Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter having the best game that maybe anybody's played in college football all year versus TCU. Every single day there's been a story. And this week it's kind of been the opposite. You're entering week 6. You got to bye not this coming Saturday, but 3 weeks from now. So it's in the midpoint of October. You're playing a bad Arizona State team. You're playing on the Pac-12 network, which a lot of people don't get. So it's just been a quieter week around the kind of Colorado ecosystem and Coach Prime. At the same time, it's not to say that people aren't saying or writing anything. And I'll be blunt. On Tuesday night into Wednesday, I saw an article that I thought was very weird and frankly, just kind of made me mad. And so let me give you a little bit of a backdrop here. It was written by Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports. And Dennis, I don't know well, and I generally don't like to criticize people in the media. He's got a job to do. I've got a job to do. He's doing his best. I'm doing his best. Okay. But at a moment in time where all this media is descending upon Colorado, you have this incredible story, news story, fun story. There's a lot of great TV pieces being done, articles being written, podcasts being recorded, whatever. Here's what Dennis Dodd decided to write about when he went to Colorado this weekend for the USC game. It started out all rainbows and sunshine. Oh, what Coach Prime is doing is this. It's incredible. School store sales are up 1 billion%. And then about 3 paragraphs in, this is where it takes a turn for the weird. This colossal makeover of a college football program that has intersected with fashion, entertainment, key demographics, and historic TV ratings is all nice and everything. But is primetime a short timer with the Colorado Buffaloes? How long will it be before Colorado ceases to interest him and this change agent changes jobs? Is that decision intertwined with the future of his sons? Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders and defensive back Shiloh Sanders will be eligible for the NFL draft after this season. This month-old whirlwind is definitely a sight to behold for now. Few can say whether it will be for good. So first of all, I love the pros, but is primetime a short timer? And will this change agent change jobs? But what I am also here to say is a couple things. One, I did not like that article at all. Two, let me even backtrack. I got a couple things to say here. First of all, I just think it's a really, really, really weird article to write, okay? So I'm not telling anybody how to do their job. And I will say this. I worked in a previous life. I was a writer, a reporter, on assignment, all that good stuff, right? But what's crazy about this, you just think about everything that's going on in Colorado right now, everything that I've told you. New head coach, historic athlete. They were the worst team in Power 5. You have an incredible turnaround. They've already won 3 games. They're favored to go 4-2 this week. You have Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, Travis Hunter, Cormani McClain, and Amarion Miller after last week. And the article that you decide to write is Coach Prime leaving? Is he going to bail? Just feels like a weird thing to do. Your bosses put you on a plane. Your bosses put you in a hotel. Who is reading that? Who is that article for? Maybe like one fan base who wants their coach fired to get Coach Prime? But I don't even understand what the process would be to write that article. There are great articles to be written about the excitement, about the enthusiasm, about Shedeur Sanders, about Travis Hunter, about Coach Prime. All you got to do is go to the bookstore and interview happy students that are happy that their football team is relevant. To use that platform to just tear this down and say, oh, how long is he going to be there for? It's just weird and it's just wrong. And to me, it's especially wrong for this reason. Coach Prime hasn't given us any reason to indicate that he's leaving. And I know he said this week, somebody asked him about a lifetime contract and he said, I'm not signing a lifetime contract. What are you talking about? But at the same time, be one thing if he had been honest and said somewhere along the way, yeah, once Shador and Shiloh leave, I'm probably out of here, or I can't see myself coaching college football forever. But it's actually the exact opposite. He loves being with kids. He wants to do this not for the money, not for his sons, but because he likes having 85 sons in a locker room. He's talked about this before. He's vocal about this. And that's the thing with Coach Prime. You can like him like me, you cannot like him. But he tells you exactly how he feels all the time. And he has never given a reason to indicate that he's on the move after his sons leave or anytime soon. By the way, I've heard Joel Klatt say this several times. Travis Hunter basically has entrusted his entire career in Coach Prime. Could have gone to any school in the country and chooses Jackson State. Then Coach Prime leaves for Colorado, could have chosen any school in the country, chooses Colorado. Can't transfer because he already transferred once. So now Coach Prime is going to leave for the first big job that calls him? Doesn't even make sense. He's not leaving anytime soon. And beyond that, this is the part that frustrates me. Like, again, it'd be one thing if there was some credible reason to believe that he is looking to go somewhere else. But it's actually the exact opposite. If you just read interviews that Coach Prime has done, if you just listen to his press conferences, you'll hear how happy he is in Colorado. He's talked about, listen, I had never been to this part of the country. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Those snow-capped mountains. The first time I got off the plane, it was unbelievable. But more than that, what he's talked about is the trust that the administration at Colorado has given him. Rick George, the AD, Phil DiStefano, I think that's how you say his name, the school president. Remember, Coach Prime had other offers to go to bigger schools, but those offers always came with a caveat, and he's talked about this. He wasn't going to get to be him. He wasn't going to be able to recruit the way he wanted. He wasn't going to be able to act the way he wanted. He wasn't going to be able to do social the way that he wanted. And Colorado just said, yeah, no, come here, do what you do. Whatever you just did at Jackson State that got you to 23-3 in your final 2 years, just come do that. And so I'm not saying this is a lifetime commitment, but after 5 games to start talking about him leaving, it doesn't make sense. This isn't a 1-year deal. He would never bail on Travis Hunter. And I think as long as he feels that he has administrative support, which he has, by the way, he bailed a lot of people out. Rick George, if he had hired the wrong guy, is probably out as the AD. So like, I think as long as he has the administrative support, as long as his family's involved, his oldest son runs his social media, why would he leave? And by the way, a couple other things. Shador and Shiloh are going to the NFL. They don't need dad by their side holding their hand. They're going to go on, be grown men, go into their adult lives like all adults do, okay? So guess what? When, I don't know, like when Kirby Smart's sons play college football and then leave, are we going to talk about Kirby Smart? Well, he's obviously going to leave. Like it's just such a dumb argument, and there's no reason to think that this is going to happen. Finally, what I would say is like, I don't get this narrative of like, oh, well, I mean, obviously he's not going to be at Colorado forever, even if he stays in college football. Why not? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here, and I'm the only one that talks about this. The only other person that I've seen in the media talk about this is Dan Wetzel from Yahoo. In the new era of college football, I'm just going to ask you a question. Why can't Coach Prime build a big-time winner at Colorado? Why do you have to go to the SEC, where there's a million teams with all the same resources, all the same this, all the same that? Why do you have to go to the Big Ten? Why can't you do it at Colorado? Remember, we're heading to an era of a 12-team college football playoff, okay? And that new Big 12 is going to be good. But who are the best teams in that Big 12? Utah, Kansas State, Baylor, Oklahoma State? You mean to tell me Colorado can't build a team that can beat those teams? And then once you get to the playoff, anything can happen. And beyond that, it's not like there are recruiting limitations for Coach Prime at Colorado. Now, for the average Colorado coach, maybe. But Coach Prime is the star. He is the focus. There are kids that would never even consider Colorado that are taking visits because of him. And again, this is just getting started. We've talked about it so many times, but all the 5 stars that have already come, Travis Hunter, Cormani McClain this year, Ryan Wingo, Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman is a 5-star committed to Texas A&M who visited last week. They've had some of the best 2025 high school players on campus over the last couple weeks. Kids want to be part of this. Kids want to follow Coach Prime. So why does he have to leave somewhere else with less administrative support, with less, whatever, when he could just do it at Colorado? So I'm not saying this is a career commitment. I'm not saying he's there for the next 40 years of his life and he retires at 80. But what I am saying is he just got there 5 games ago. And beyond that, it's a great story without just making stuff up. Again, if he said something, it'd be different. If he said something that made us think that he's looking for another job or he was unhappy, it'd be different. but this is already a great story. You have a historically great head coach or a historically great athlete at a non-traditional power, doing things that have never been done before, stars on the sidelines. This is a great story. We don't need to start making up narratives to fit whatever we're trying to do. Just enjoy it in the moment. And again, if Coach Prime gives us real reason to believe he doesn't want to be there, we could discuss that then. But for now, let's not make stuff up. Let's enjoy the moment. Thank you, everybody, for your support of the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube channel. And we do have a major announcement as major news has come to the state of Kentucky. That is right. Legal sports betting now available in Kentucky. And here is the cool part. The Aaron Torres Pod YouTube channel has now partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook and the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And as a thank you to listeners of this channel, DraftKings Sportsbook has an incredible offer for all first-time customers. First-time customers, here's what you need to know. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet $5 on any game. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use the code Torres. That's Torres, Torres. All you got to do, it's very simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook online. Bet $5 on any game. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use the code Torres. First-time customers, take advantage of this exclusive offer. It's an incredible deal. Thank you to DraftKings. Could not be more fired up to be working with the DraftKings Sportsbook.